Welcome back. I have a story about a man who is using his personal experience to inspire the lives of children in areas like the Bronx. When he's not producing hits for artists like Justin Bieber, 50 Cent, and Jennifer Lopez, multi-platinum producer Amadeus is motivating kids in his borough. And today he joins me to discuss his new book titled The Story of Amadeus and the Beat Goes On. Amadeus, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me, Queen. What an amazing introduction. You were so amazing. You were so proper. You know what I mean? It's just an amazing introduction. I really appreciate you having me here today. Congrats on everything. Happy New Year to you.
Yes,
Um,
Happy New Year.
Thank you so much. Thank you. But thank you so much for having me.
Yes, of course. Thank you for being here. So, you've been on BronxNet Productions so many times. It's almost like you're kind of a part of the family. But for those who don't know, can you tell us a bit more about your background and where it's taken you?
Yes. So I've been a multi-platinum producer that's produced for over 100 artists. You name a few. Um, Trey Songz is music director, tour drummer for the last 14 years. I have a residency in Las Vegas at the number one hip hop nightclub in Las Vegas, Dre's nightclub. I've been at this for 20 plus years. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears. I'm from the Bronx. Bronx is in the building, 169th Washington Avenue to be exact. Building 1309 4C. You know what I'm saying? So I've been at this for a long time, and I know the struggles, I know the challenges of being from the Bronx and being from any hood or any tough neighborhood. But I chased my dreams. I'm living my dreams today, and I always have been one to want to pay it forward and make sure that I encourage others, especially where I'm from in the Bronx, to believe in yourself and be great. Like, you don't have to be a statistic. You don't have to be what people say that you should be because of where you're from and your surroundings, but you can break the curse, and become successful and walk in your greatness. And I'm grateful to be able to represent that.
So, I love that you gave us that little bit of tidbit about you because, as I mentioned, you have a new book where readers get to learn even more about you and your journey. Can you start off by telling us what inspired you to make a book?
Throughout the years, I would tour the world with Trey Songz, and I would always stop in different cities, and I would say, "Hey, what school is surrounding whatever arena or city that we're playing in that night?" And I will, try to make my way into that school to speak to whatever kids, I was able to speak to, and again to just, encourage them to chase their dreams and live their dreams, share my story, share the hardships, share all of that I've been through in life, to kind of encourage them to keep pressing on no matter what. So it just made a lot of sense. I do a lot of speaking engagements, and it just made a lot of sense to have something tangible that even after you leave from speaking to individuals and kids and students, that you can give them something to walk away with. And that was the book. It was something that I've always wanted to do, just didn't really have the time and the patience to really get it done. But, unfortunately, since the pandemic happened and I wasn't able to tour and go on the road and perform and get into the studio, I had to stay home. I think it was the perfect time for me to really, get the book together. And we was able to do that. Sometimes you got to be able to turn pain and challenge and struggle into something beautiful. So, the book came about, during the pandemic.
So you do have this book, and it is a children's book, and I would say even teenagers could read this. Can you just explain again, like, why that was really important to you to kind of focus on our youth?
Absolutely. It sucks when you feel like people don't care. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to scold. It's easy to get after. Talk negatively to a kid and bring them down. But it's so much better when you can look at them look at them with their flaws and love them through their flaws and say, hey, it's okay. You do have a second chance. You do have a third chance. You do have a fourth chance. It's up to you to keep pushing in a positive way and not throw in a towel and give up, and end up dead or end up in jail or somewhere that you don't want to be. So I think it's just important to just encourage them and tell them, like, listen, I'm where I'm at today. It took me 20 plus years to get there, but it was very hard. It was very difficult. And like you said, it's not just for, kids. Like, there's adults that, humbly speaking, that are fans of what I've done musically and creatively, that want to know the story too. They want to know the hidden gems and how it started for me when I picked up the drumsticks for the fourth time in fourth grade, and the cereal that I used to eat growing up, and the music that my mom and dad played. I think it's very interesting for people to kind of know your story, and they want to know your story. So again, it's not just for kids or students or children. It's for anyone, and for adults too. Sometimes as an adult, you feel like once you reach a certain age that it's over. Like, you can no longer live your dreams. It's too late. And it's like, nah, if you woke up today and you got breath in your body and God blessed you with life, and she's already blessed you with gifts and talents. You just got to walk in that. And I always say this all the time. It's not our time or when we feel it's the right moment for it to happen. I always say it's God's time. So whatever you believe in, whatever your faith is, just hold on to that and keep pushing regardless.
Now, I think it's very crucial to note that you specifically wanted to influence, you said adults as well, but Black children, as well as just kids from urban areas. I saw that on your Instagram and I thought that was really amazing. Can you speak more about why you wanted to make that distinction? Like, this is something to inspire children from the hood or, Black children anywhere.
Right. It's who I am, and it's what I represent. And oftentimes, us as Black kids, especially Black men, we just get this dark cloud over us. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, a lot of us are getting killed by police. A lot of us, are joining gangs and doing the wrong thing. And when you look at a Black kid or a Black man, not everybody, but oftentimes, you kind of like, take a little step back, or you kind of, judge that person. I feel it all the time. I travel a lot, gratefully to travel a lot in first class. And, when I sit to go to my seat and I'm sitting next to everybody else, and they're like, what is he doing here? And it's like, I'm here because I belong here as well as you. Just because I don't look like you, I don't have the same skin tone as you, doesn't mean that I belong in the back of the plane. I'm in the front of the plane. Why? Because I'm doing the right thing. Why? Because I represent positive energy. Why? Because I'm an incredible musician that worked my behind off for years to get to where I'm at today. So yes, I'm going to sit here in first class. I'm not a businessman. I'm not, I don't work for corporate. I work for me. I'm the CEO of Platinum Button Music. You know what I'm saying? So, I want people, when they see Black men, to be encouraged, to be inspired, to be blown away, to be impressed. Like, wow, you can do it too. Absolutely. God has blessed every single person on this earth with gifts and talents, no matter what you are, white, Black, Asian, Hispanic, it doesn't matter. We are all blessed by God. We are all one. We are all the same.
And I love that we're kind of having this conversation during Black History Month. And I think it also speaks to why, like you mentioned, it was important for adults to know that, because I think kids dream, but adults also dream, and we have things that we want to, achieve. So can you just speak to like why it's important to have this specific conversation for Black men, for Black women, or people who come from certain backgrounds during Black History Month?
Right. I think, well, first off, it's wonderful, to have this conversation on today, which is the start of the Black History Month. It's a very powerful moment. We just celebrated Dr. Martin Luther King. And I was just so grateful for him because of his sacrifices and the fight that he fought for us, we're able to live our dreams. We're able, as I just mentioned, to sit in first class in front of the plane. We can sit in front of the bus, on a train. We can drive our own vehicles. We can own property. We can own businesses. If he didn't fight that fight, we wouldn't have been able to do what we do today. So be appreciative that you're able to live and actually go after and live your dreams. You know what I'm saying? Martin Luther King fought for us to live our dreams. So it's like you do him a disservice, and more importantly, and no disrespect to MLK, but you do God a disservice. It's like, he didn't have to bless you with these gifts. He didn't have to bless you with these talents. So how dare you have these gifts and talents and not use them? And how do you not live and walk in your passion? So, as today is the first day of the Black History Month, man, hopefully this interview and this conversation will inspire everybody that views it to just believe in themselves and go after each and everything God has placed, in them in regards to gifts and talents.
Now, I really want to touch on the fact that, you say you came from a low income community in the Bronx. And I think it really speaks to where you went today. We often feel that we don't have the resources to cultivate creativity in our youth. And you said that music was a huge part of your youth growing up. And sometimes it can be true that, parents don't have the resources. How do we provide a space where we allow Black and Brown children, or just children from low income areas, to just dream and achieve what they want?
What I didn't have growing up was the internet, and social media. Like, none of that existed back then. So I had to kind of create something out of nothing, literally. I had to stand in front of the record labels and try to hope to meet individuals that can help, me live my dreams and allow me to walk through those doors for me to live my dreams. So nowadays, everything is right at your fingertips, where you can go online, you can get on social media, express yourself, share your gifts and talents, show the world what you're capable of doing, be seen by millions and billions of people around the world. So there's so much opportunity. and so much ways to be seen. And it's just about understanding that and not being lazy. People expect success to just fall in their laps, and it doesn't work like that. Even though God is, and these are my beliefs, right? So even though God has blessed me with my gifts and talents, that doesn't mean I sit back, kick my feet up, wake up every day and do nothing, and just hope that the doors go swinging open. It's like, nah, he gave us the gifts. Now we have to do our part. So I just think it's very important. I know a lot of the schools are missing music and missing, that entertainment side, and we need that. We need that, and I'm sure it's a big fight for DOE and whatever people that are on the board to maintain music in school and to keep music in school. But you do have amazing schools around, especially in the Bronx, my city. I want to give a shout out to Principal Luis Torres at PS55, who is actually in the process of building a recording studio right now in the school, alongside the legends, Grandmaster Melly Mel and Grandmaster Cass, along with Melissa LeBron from Windows of Hip Hop. So you have individuals like that are fighting to keep music and keep people's hopes and dreams alive. So we just need more than that. We need more of that, more of support, more people like myself walking to these schools and saying, hey, you can do it too. They need the time, they need the attention, and they need people like myself to push them into their greatness.
So this was a really inspirational story. I'm so happy you shared this with us. Can you just let everybody know where they can support you and your book?
Yes, I have it right here. I'm actually signing all copies of the book, so my hand is getting a little tired. I'm gonna keep it going as long as I can keep it going. So you can reach me on Instagram. It's Amadeus PBM. IG is Amadeus PBM. I have a website, which is www.imkingamadeus.com. I'm on Twitter as well under Producer Amadeus. I'm on Facebook under Antoine Amadeus Thompson. You can find me anywhere, Google, whatever you need to do, you can reach me. But if you're trying to get the book, either message me on one of those social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, or go to the website and order your book and get your signed copy now. Queen, thank you so much for allowing me this opportunity to share with my Bronx family. This was an amazing conversation. I'm proud of you. Keep up the great work. Keep being credible. You and your entire team are awesome. Much love, the Bronx, and always.
Amadeus, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. We'll be right back with more Open BxRx Tuesday.